Yo, what's up and welcome back. My name is Franco and today we're going to be talking about the new advanced focus flavor, Electric Frostberry. I've already done a video on all of their flavors, so I wanted to cover this new flavor as well. But to be honest, flavor reviews are kind of boring. I'm always trying to think of ways to make the video a little more than just
oh wow, this flavor is so good, it's the best ever, you should totally buy this.
Especially because flavor is so objective. Just because I like it doesn't mean that you're going to, and it's hard to convince someone unless it's either extremely good or extremely bad and makes me sad that I spent money on it. So to make this video a little different, I thought it'd be cool to interview the dude who's actually printed on the side of the label. This flavor is called Electric Frostberry, and that's because it was made in collaboration with an awesome and very successful streamer, IFrostBolt. Obviously, I'm going to tell you what my thoughts on the flavor are, but what I'm more excited to do is talk to Frost and ask him what it's like to have a flavor named after you and have your face printed on the side and what his involvement was. I got a lot of questions and super stoked about this, and hopefully you are too. If you'd like to support the channel in ways other than subscribing and liking and all that YouTube stuff, and you're in the market for a gaming style chair, then check out Secret Lab chairs with the link below. I've had mine for over 2 years, and in my review of it, I talked about how awesome the comfort and quality is, and in my opinion, they make the best chairs of this style, so check them out. In my most recent big video on gaming energy powders, Advanced was one of my top choices. When people come into my stream and ask me what my favorite brand is, which happens a lot, well then Advanced is going to be one of my go-to recommendations every time. The things that stand out for them in my eyes are their lack of maltodextrin, as I've been eating keto and fasting lately, so it's not going to mess either of those things up, and their ingredients, which I still believe are some of the best out of any brand that I've tried to this point. The complaints are going to be that the powder does not smell very good, and that's because they're using lutein, which is an ingredient that's used for eye health. Also, their price is kind of high because the expensive ingredients that they use, and they recommend 2 servings when you use their drink. However, they have a second product called Energy, which is just going to have simple ingredients instead of all the extra stuff for eye health and nootropics and all the focus stuff that they use in Focus. That is going to be a little cheaper. These are the ingredients for Focus. Green means that the ingredient meets the required amount needed to see the intended effects, and red means that it doesn't. I've also included the actual numbers for anyone who might be colorblind. Their dosages for 1 serving don't all meet the required amount for every ingredient, but when you combine 2 servings, which is what they recommend on the label, like I said earlier, then things look very different. So I'm going to include the ingredient amounts for 1 serving as well as the ingredient amounts for 2 servings, and you can kind of compare and see what I'm talking about. These are the stats as far as price and caffeine go. Now, I just want to say, I'm not sponsored by Advanced, but I do have a code that you can use for some money off of your purchase. I don't get paid for this code, it's just something that they offered me so that my audience can save some money. Things like this help me develop these relationships with these companies so I can keep bringing you content, but eventually this might change because your boy needs to make some money. Camera gear is expensive. The last time that I ranked Focus flavors, I put them in this order. So where does this flavor land? First. That's right, this is my new favorite Focus flavor. I think it's similar to a fruit punch with lots of fruit flavors, but if you chose fruits that weren't super tart. Does that make sense? I think that regular fruit punch would have tart things like strawberry and cherry and citrus, whereas this style of fruit punch seems to be more like blueberry, kiwi, and raspberries. I don't know. You might disagree a bit and that might not make a lot of sense, but it's the best way that I can explain it. I really like it. Just liking the flavor wasn't enough though, and I wanted to talk to the man himself, the dude that helped them develop this flavor. So let's hear what he has to say.
I don't know what that play's about. Charles, come on, bro. Challenge me. Challenge me, Charles. Challenge me, Charles. Challenge me, Charles.
Where'd you go? Basement, right?
What is this light? She's...
What the? Oh my God!
Oh, let's go.
Oh!
Oh, no.
So, what was your experience with these types of drinks before? Because there's tons of brands. I don't think the
definitely.
average person understands how many brands there are. You know, like, had you tried Advanced before, or is it that they approached you and you were like, yeah, let me try this out? Like, I feel like most people have tried the bigger brands, you know, already because they don't know better, or they don't know about these other brands that are obviously
Right, they're not
better.
very popular or as popular.
Right. So, what was your experience with the drinks beforehand?
So I come from humble beginnings, right? I didn't really have the luxury of spending money on like freaking G Fuel tubs and everything like that.
Yeah.
But sometimes as I was going to school and trying to stream at the same time, play video games, 'cause I used to play or attempt to play competitive on my game Destiny, and that failed horribly because this game didn't go anywhere. Side note. But it caused me to be really focused, you know, stressful environment, right? I needed a lot of energy. I needed to be wired in. So I always try to get my pennies together, go to the corner store, get me Red Bull cans. And eventually I realized this is really expensive. Like, I can't really be doing this because, you know, for me back then, spending money on a Red Bull can meant I probably couldn't get myself a hot and spicy from McDonald's or something like that,
I mean,
which is kind of funny, right?
They are pretty good.
So Red Bull, a couple different flavors, all tasted really similar though. They had a distinctive flavor, you know, small can. Sometimes I personally, I like to have something I can just gulp down a lot of, right? Not just something I can just take one sip and be over with it, which was Red Bull to me. I tried Monster before. Didn't really know what it was that I didn't like. Maybe it was too sugary for me, too strong on the flavor. So after one can, I was like, you know, I don't really like that. Eventually, I was able to get my hands on some G Fuel. I thought it was fine. I thought it was all right. It wasn't really too crazy over it, though. It was just something I couldn't afford personally. You know, they were pretty expensive for me back in that time. And so these guys Advanced actually come from the same community that I came up from the Destiny community.
Right.
And you can more or less say I knew them. We were kind of good friends. We kind of grew up together, right? They started their business. They started going around trying to hook up all the friends they made in the community and stuff like that. And eventually, you know, they came to me as well. And I was like, yeah, I mean, this makes perfect sense. Good friends. I go through your product. I believe in it, and I know you as a person too. So I believe in you too, right? So that's kind of how it went about.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you can create a partnership just like naturally, like organically. It doesn't have to be like so formal and business like. This is weird because I was like, oh, let me do some research so I can ask them questions that aren't just like, you know, the usual questions. So I saw you really like horror movies. You really like sci-fi, which is what led you to Destiny, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Your main game is Destiny. So being October, do you have any like horror movie plans or like
Dude, I've been
horror
watching
streams?
all the Saw movies.
Really?
I just finished watching the final chapter of Saw.
Yeah.
And I've been watching it since the very beginning. Oh, dude.
Are you pulling any of that into your stream this month?
You know, I'm not really big on celebrating events. I kind of just never really experienced stuff like that as I was growing up. So at this age now, I'm just kind of like, oh, nice, okay.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot
boring, but oh well.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Dead by Daylight, and they have the character from Saw in it.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
well, in regards to playing games on stream for the spooky festives, yeah, we'll be playing stuff like that. Okay. We've been playing kind of Phasmophobia. I don't know if you mess around with that game at all.
I tried it recently, this last weekend. I tried it. It's probably, because I play a lot of horror games, I think it's one of the most unique horror games that I've played in a while.
Oh, definitely, it's fun.
It's fun, yeah. Your flavor, I really like it. I think it actually might be my new favorite of the focus.
Oh, let's go, awesome.
Yeah, but I want to know, you know, like what went into getting that flavor the way that it is, because obviously it represents you. Your face is on the side of the tub,
right?
So what kind of involvement did you have in like what did you want your flavor to taste like?
So
how does that even work? I don't even know how. I'm not popular enough.
it took a long time. I'll probably say a couple months of me just, you know, they let me know, hey, we're gonna work on a flavor, and basically what happened is I spent all that time, like a couple months or whatever, just thinking to myself, what flavor do I like? You know, I was thinking, drinking coffees here and there, trying out different like sodas and stuff. It's like, you know, just kind of brainstorming. And then I said, you know what Advanced has right now? A lot of kind of fruity flavors, I'd say, like the cherry limeade, the mango one, you know, very strong on the fruit flavor. I want something that can compete with those flavors too, you know, that's very tasteful, but I also want to kind of take a different direction where it's more refreshing, you know, not too strong whenever you take a sip, something you want to just keep, you know, gulping down, right? So there was that. As soon as I transferred that idea, told them what kind of flavors I'd want to see in it that I personally kind of just like myself. You know, I kind of was selfish on that one. I was like, all right, these are the flavors that I like. So if people like it, then they share the same taste buds like me, which is good. So I told them what berries and stuff like that, what I wanted it to be like refreshing. So they came back to me with a couple examples. I tried one, tried another one, tried different ones. Not all of them were hits at first. And I was like, okay, so let's go down this direction where I'll tell them what I liked about this one, what I enjoyed about the other one, what I didn't like about all the different examples, and then apply it to the final one where basically you take the best from it, combine it, and make sure that it comes out to be, you know, just a really good combination, right? One of them didn't really have strong fruit flavors, I'd say, but it was very refreshing. And at that point, that's when I realized I really liked it as refreshing. You know, it's kind of like I can drink this whenever I want, you know, throughout the whole day or whatever. So I told them that. There was other one with the fruit that was very fruity or whatever. I told them that, and the final product was something I was really happy with personally.
I noticed a Spider-Man statue in the background, right? And I've noticed
you see him?
like on all social media, you know, usually people talk about the most important things, you know, in their bio, because they just want to, this is who I am, this is why you should watch me. And I feel like in every bio you mention Spider-Man. So obviously you're a big fan. So I thought it'd be funny to ask you, if Spider-Man was going to have a flavor, what flavor do you think he would have?
Oh, it's interesting that you asked that. Well, just looking at his costume, right? He has the colors red and blue. And then I have to go think about the flavors that Advance has. The red one would be probably the cherry limeade, and then we have a triple flavor, which is the berry one, right? I think he'll probably go with the triple berry flavor, which is the great one.
All right. I was looking into you a little bit, right? And I saw that you went to school or you were going to school for chemistry, right?
Yeah, it was. Before streaming just completely took over my life.
Right. So do you feel like your background in chemistry, do you think that played a part in your choice on like advanced because they are such a like advanced formula, or do you feel like I'm looking too into that? As
much as I loved chemistry, you're definitely looking a little bit too much into that.
I figured as much, but I figured if you like, I see some similarities between you and I. Like, I love science. I love diving into stuff. And I feel like you don't go to school for chemistry without liking that stuff a little bit. But did that? So did you look into their ingredients at all, or did you just like the brand?
I definitely had to. I did, yeah. Because I mean, when you have a brand that's, you know, a pretty reasonable size, you have different sponsorships that want to work with you, right? And it's at that point you have to decide yourself, who do I want to work with? Who do I want to, you know, tell my community about? And you have to look into these different sponsors, because at least from how I've been taught is that you have to believe in that sponsor too, right? You have to use it actually, not just, you know, try to get that quick code percentage, right?
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So then my last question, right? You've mentioned coming from humble beginnings and things like that. So it must feel pretty weird seeing your face on the side of a like an energy tub now. You know what I mean? Because that's something unique that Advanced does. They partner with streamers and content creators, but it's just kind of like the name of the flavor might have like their name in it, but your face is on the side of that tub. You know, how does that feel coming from, you know, looking at where you started and then where you're at now? Is that surreal for you? Is that weird?
Dude, it is very weird. You look at it as like, that's actually a thing.
That's me.
So it personally, it makes me very happy. It makes me feel satisfied, because I personally put a lot of work into, you know, my job, my streaming, my YouTube and everything, my socials, put a lot of work into it. To see my face on a sponsor like that is kind of letting me reflect on myself as like, all the effort I've been putting into this has been almost worth it, right? Not completely just to get that sponsor, but I mean, just it's showing me that I'm making progress, right? That my brand is growing, that I'm getting back from the time I'm investing into my job, right?
Yeah, that's
so
amazing.
it's awesome, man. It makes me really happy.
Yeah, I'm happy for you. That's awesome. So yeah, those are all the questions. Thank you so much for doing this with me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Cool. Well, enjoy your spooky streams this month.
Thank you, man. Have a good afternoon.
Yeah, you too. I appreciate it too.
All right. Goodbye.
I'll see you later. Overall, I think that this is a fantastic addition to their lineup, but I would like to see them release some sour flavors just because those tend to be my favorite. I do just absolutely appreciate the people over at Advance for all the support that they've shown this channel, setting up this interview, sending me flavors to try out, and everything behind the scenes. They're fantastic people to work with, so thank you very much, Advance, and thank you, Frost, for doing this with me. Let me know which one of their flavors is your favorite in the comments, and if you like this style of video and would like to see more interviews with different people behind different flavors, even if it's not Advanced, I think this is a really cool thing to do. Let me know in the comments who should be next and maybe help me out, because I don't think that I'm cool enough to convince a lot of these people without some help from you and these different companies. So shout them out on Twitter and let them know that you want to see me interview them. Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to this channel on like 1,000 different accounts. Join the Discord. Follow me on Twitch, on Instagram, on Twitter. I don't know, just do everything. Is that enough? I'm feeling kind of desperate, so please, just do it. Peace. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
He's coming.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hey, where are you going, man? Come back here. He's coming. Ah! Ow! Smudge, I rebuke thee. I rebuke thee. Ah!